This is Guns, Knives, and Watches. This is my version of the review on the IWI Tavor. Now, this is not going to be like everybody else's review because I basically go through it from an engineering type, way of thinking. To be honest, the IWI Tavor has turned out to be a weapon that really impressed me in a lot of different ways. It takes sand, it takes a lot of things really well because it's made, of course, in Israel. Very easy to take down. It has a couple lugs here, that modified lug, and then we have those others, your extractor, your ejector. It's a long stroke gas system. To give you an understanding of the difference between a long stroke and a short stroke, an AR gas system is a short stroke gas system, and an AK platform uses a long stroke gas system. Now, and if you really have disassembled them quite a bit, you know there's a big difference. And I can't act crazy on this video because this video, like I said, is going to be quite a bit different than a lot of the other ones you've seen, because it's basically, this is the inside of the IWI Tavor. The weak part of the Tavor is right here in the front, okay? As you see, this should be here. See if I can get it to slide in at this hugging a camera. Push that down. The Tavor should look like this, more like this, and then have the rail on top of it, okay? That has your sights in it. Mine doesn't. Why is that? Because mine's broken. It actually, the two, I guess, it's a tongue and groove type setup. The two grooves have broken on the front, one on the back. It has broken one of the retainers in the rear, and then broken off two eyelets that come down. And you can see all the little parts, the pieces and the parts that are actually broken off the front of this gun. And you don't seem to understand that. When I slam things down on the table, it's not because I'm trying to just make a point or this, that, or the other. It actually tests the battle worthiness of this rifle. Now, how did this rifle fail? Okay. This rifle failed by it coming down on the charging handle. Now, the charging handle, of course, comes through the front here, and I'm not ever, I got it, and then slips through that section right there, that opening. Well, that torque of hitting this, and it was pretty hard, broke the whole front off this rifle and made it inoperable to where it could not be charged. It could not be cycled. Now, I did the same test with the LWRC AR and had absolutely no problem. No problem whatsoever, except for, you can see, there's some minor polishing there where it's hit things, and of course the swivels, but other than just some minor scarring, there's really no deal. So this system is great for a bullpup type system. I would recommend it if you're only going to shoot right-handed and you have a specific application in tight quarters or your vehicle operations. I'd really probably recommend this more for vehicle type operations. Of course, bullpups are great for going through a building, but you can get a 14.5-inch barrel and don't run your stock all the way out in your AR and still and do a lot of work with that. But if you're only going to shoot right-handed, which this, unfortunately, if you try to convert over to left-handed, you'll basically be catching brass in your face, or it'll be going right across in front of your face. And depending on where your face is on this deal, you could catch one. So here's what I did. I called IWI, and I basically explained to them and said, this is my fault. This was not done during any normal use of the rifle. This was actually done as a test, and I would be more than happy to pay for the parts. But you have a problem with the polymer for your front. They said, okay. Of course, they took down all my information and said, what they would be happy to do is to send me another one in another color. Of course, this is a green rifle. They don't have any green right now. They're going to send me a black upper, and I'm sure they'll get it in the mail relatively quickly. And they're going to send me that whole upper assembly. I'm going to try it out and see how it works. This might have been a very limited problem. Of course, I did, as I said, I hit the rifle pretty hard. But that's what happens in battlefield conditions. In battlefield conditions, unless you're in a very limited engagement, shit happens. And the longer the engagement, or the longer the actual whole process is, you're going 50 miles or 100 miles or whatever, instead of doing 5 miles. And of course, now I've noticed that part's broken also. Anyway, this is Guns, Knives, and Watches, and this is just my IWI Tavor, and it is, she is a damaged. Now, we'll see how long it takes IWI to give me the parts, and how the other pieces work. I don't baby my equipment. I put it through real world testing. I put it in real world environments. I can't have a weapon system that can easily break like this. I know people watch a bunch of other people's videos and this, that, or the other, and I know this is a $1,800 rifle or something like that, probably with taxes out the door. And people baby these things and do this, that, or the other, and just go to the range with them, or shoot them in their backyard, or go mud, shoot in the mud, or do whatever. I don't do those things. I actually test them in real world applications. There are two problems that I have with the system, just as a training issue. The distance between the barrel and the sighting system is quite a bit different than an AR. There you've got a lot more. You have probably an 1.25 to 1.75 inches different in holdover, and that's kind of an issue. I do like the fact that it takes PMags. I do like a lot of things about the system, but if this can't take what my AR can easily take, then I'll say it the way a lot of people say it. It's not the Krav Maga of bullpup platforms. It's a good weapon. It has limited application. And for me to use it and use it well, I would honestly, where this is a 16.5-inch barrel, I would get the longer barrel just so that I had more of a bullet velocity, but also I just had more weight on the front end. I noticed that that's just something that I've cleaned this weapon up and this, there, the other. But this is just one day of testing on this platform, and it would not charge. This is Guns, Knives, and Watches, and the IWI Tavor. We'll see how they deal with it, and we'll see how it tests out, but it hasn't started off that well in my testing. I wish it would have. I wish I could come in here and tell you that it is, you know, the everything, end all be all weapon in bullpups. But, and it is a very good weapon. And it's very well thought out. It's very good, well laid out. Because the muzzle is so low, you almost get no muzzle rise. But we'll just see how she goes. This is my IWI Tavor, and in my world, they got work to do. Have a good one.